Hello.
Hi, it's Ginger
And Dee.
and this is
Chattin with CHAP.
Today we're going to answer the question, can I issue a diploma to my high school graduate?
Can I all by myself? We are going to answer that
You
question.
know.
This week we're talking about diplomas, and the question I often hear is, can I really, as a parent, issue a valid diploma?
Yes. And the answer is you can. Because in our winter magazine, our HSLDA representative, attorney Dan Beasley, wrote, oh look, it's backwards.
Oh, we didn't flip the screen,
Homeschool
sorry.
Diploma number 101. He explains all about the fact that yes, you can. And it's all right here.
So you can read about it there. Dan is actually one of the speakers at conventions, so you have questions, you can actually see him in person. So you can read it in the magazine. The magazine is actually one of the benefits of becoming a member of CHAP. But can you just summarize a little bit about what the article says?
Yeah, so for the nitty gritty is you can issue a diploma. You just need to make sure you're doing three things. The first is that your student has done all the requirements. That's what's written in the law. And don't worry, we're going to talk about that next week. And the second thing is that you use the Pennsylvania Department of Education's form. They have a diploma form that you can print out and fill out. And then the third thing is that the 12th grade evaluator signs that form. So those are the three things.
Yeah. So if you do all of that, that will grant all the rights and privileges afforded by the Commonwealth.
Yes.
It is a valid diploma. Prior to the law change in 2014, a lot of the parent issued diplomas were not being recognized, but now a parent issued diploma is recognized. So you can do it yourself. There's a truck coming up the street. It might get a little loud.
For the noise. So, in 2014, the law changed. Don't have to take portfolios to the school anymore. It's pretty much saying, you do your affidavit. You have an evaluator that says that you are doing what you need to do. So there's no reason why someone should not accept your diploma that you issue. Now, Dan does say that you could print one on a Microsoft Publisher and say, here you go. He does suggest that you use that one that the Department of Education says to use because it's recognized, it's a form of the state. Places like FIA, the financial assistance and financial aid, and other institutions and stuff will recognize it more readily because of the Pennsylvania seal that's on it.
Yeah.
So he suggests that, and with that, he does say it's always, you got to keep your transcript. Obviously, that's the grades. That's what they're really going to be looking at. It's good to keep summaries of the classes that they took too, not just the grades, and copies of your affidavits and copies of the evaluation forms that your evaluator gave back to you.
Yeah, so it's real simple. You can download that diploma. It's really simple to do.
I'll post the link.
We'll post the link. It's a lot easier than you think, and by doing all of that, your graduate is set for any post-secondary school experience that they're going to have. This is all that you need to do.
Yep, and like I said, you can read it all in here in this little article, and we'll have copies of this at the convention too. If you don't have one. So, and they are at the library. My husband took my girls to the library, and there on the shelf was the CHAP magazine. You see to the picture of it. There's the CHAP magazine in the library.
Awesome.
So that was fun. So next week, we are going to waylay your fears.
Yes, we're going to talk about what the law really says about the requirements, because I also hear a lot of confusion on, and I had some confusion. Ginger thankfully straightened me out on some things. So we're going to just talk about what the law really says.
So it's doable. You can do it.
You can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, do we have a question? What is your hold on opinion of the fact that school district's name is on the PDF? Have you heard of it being challenged at all, or employers calling the school district to verify?
I have not. I do know my friend Barb, who was on a few weeks ago. I was talking to her about it, and they use the PDE's form. And she said honestly, what she said to me is, people rarely look at your diploma. They really want to see transcripts.
That's right.
And possibly test scores. I mean, I think test scores are actually less used now than they were in my day. But yeah, the transcript is really the big thing, keeping track of the grades and stuff. So I don't know.
We haven't heard of it being challenged,
no,
but if anybody is on here and
post.
you have, let us know. I think there's another comment. Look at me. I have to put on glasses to read your comments. This is too funny. And there are also diploma associations represented at the convention. If you're nervous about issuing your own, that is true. That is true. You can still go through a diploma program.
Mm-hmm.
Their requirements are slightly different in some ways.
We'll talk about that next week a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about that, how they differ. But you sure can, if that would put your mind at ease, you certainly can do that. But you don't have to. I think the myth was you had to use a diploma program.
Yes, or you were always lost.
Or it wasn't valid. But that's not true. You know,
Yeah.
it can be a valid diploma. So yeah.
It totally is. Hopefully that helped.
Yes. And if, like I said, if anybody's on here and you've heard of it, something happening, let us know. Can you read that?
She says, haha, enjoying your live talk. We're glad to help. And we're glad that you guys are on asking questions.
Yes, this is awesome. Maybe this was a better time than 8 o'clock. Maybe at 8 o'clock at night, everybody was in bed. That's where
you all sleeping?
All homeschool moms are in bed at 8 p.m. Is that what it is?
I have all my meetings at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, they're meetings. They're at meetings or in bed. So maybe this 1 o'clock will be a good time, but we will repost at 8. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks everybody for chiming in.
Yep. Have any more questions, post them, and we will get back to you.
Yes. Okay,
So,
great. Well,
this has
been
Chattin' with CHAP. See ya.